how much Bacardi do you actually drink?
I drink enough.
What's poppin', y'all? You rocking with Jiggy Jones, and we got a creative force in the building today, y'all. An entrepreneur who epitomizes entrepreneurship in a creative space. Whether it's an image of your favorite artist, a campaign by one of your favorite brands, you've certainly seen his work because he's done it all. Cam Kirk is in the building today. What's going on, Cam?
What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Appreciate you taking time out to chop it up with me.
Man, I always got time for y'all, man.
No, definitely. So definitely taking it up a notch, stepping into this world of digital assets, blockchains, with this NFT. So one, talk about your prior knowledge before hooking up with Bacardi and about Bacardi as a brand.
Yeah, I think the NFT space is something that obviously I definitely had my eye on. I'll say I first really got hip to it, probably like most people on it was like an Earn Your Leisure episode or something with Mark Cuban, and they were talking about it. And I swear that day I must have got about 5 different texts from everybody on my team, like, what we need to do. We need to do. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about this? And for me, I'm very intentional with my movement. So I never like to rush or jump on a trend. It's got to make sense for me. And I got to be educated in it. Also consider myself like a leader of sorts to the creative community, at least to my community here in Atlanta. So before I did anything, I wanted to make sure I knew about it. I researched it, I understood it, so I can explain it before I kind of jumped out there. And for me, I've been plotting it, and this project and this collaboration came together, and it was just like perfect timing. Like, I was just ready. So thankful for a brand like Bacardi to see a vision with me and to see a plan that we can put together and both kind of enter in the space for the first time.
Similar to you as well, the Earn Your Leisure episode, that's when it caught my eye. And then just discussing it with my friends, and then seeing people talk about it on Reddit, on Twitter, and just learning, catching different gems as we go on. So what is your ultimate goal, one, with this collaboration as well as the process?
Yeah, I mean, with like every project that I work on with a brand or a company or even my own work, the ultimate goal is bettering the community around me. That's always a part and ingrained in everything that I do. And this project is no different. Yeah, there's some glamour in what we're going to create and the magic we're going to create together, this NFT. But the part that moves me the most is that, the proceeds from this NFT are going directly to a partnership Bacardi has in place with the NAACP to support, local community bars and restaurants, Black-owned ones at that. So that's the part that moves me the most. The idea that through my creativity, through my vision, through my camera lens, we're impacting lives greater than just fans of my work, or greater than just myself. So that's the special part about this project, and that's what's definitely inspiring me to kind of take it up a notch and with my creativity. So that's the part that I love the most, and that's what my goal is, to create something that people want to buy, and in turn that obviously supports a greater cause.
As long as I've been watching you and your work, you all about lifting as you climb, and giving opportunities to creatives and different people that you collab with within the area. So are you looking to possibly educate more young creatives or about the NFT space or entering that space?
Most definitely. I think I'm definitely one of the ones that like to do it first before I tell you what you should or shouldn't do. So I definitely will be very transparent about my process, very transparent about this process with as many people as possible, especially those within, my studio community and beyond. So I'm hoping that this, with this collaboration with Bacardi, we inspire more Black creatives to want to get into the NFT space, to do their research, and to find, different ways to monetize their work online. And I think that's the exciting part about NFTs when you think about it. It's like this notion that I don't have to just put my work on Instagram to be consumed free. Maybe there's a way I can kind of monetize my digital work without having to print it or physically have it. And that's what's exciting. So as I go through this experience for the first time, I definitely will be, watching out for how the process is and definitely educating as many people as possible.
On a lighter note, how much Bacardi do you actually drink?
I drink enough. You know what I mean? I think I've been a fan of the brand since I've been legal enough to drink. So I think this collaboration is right on time. It's right up my alley. It's Bacardi's been a brand that has supported, our culture and has, ingrained themselves within our culture for some time. You see it in the music space as well.
Yeah.
So this isn't a left field collaboration for me. I think that's what I like the most. And just the idea that, out of everybody, they chose me. One, it lets me know they have their finger on the pulse a little bit. Like, I'm not, a rapper or per se, so they're already in tune with what's really moving and shaking within the culture. And that's what's exciting to me.
So you're definitely looking to possibly do more NFT or seek more NFT opportunities in the future?
Most definitely. I think, anything that's pushing the boundaries of technology and with creativity, I think I should have my hands in and be a part of. So I'm definitely looking forward to this be a jump start, but definitely probably not the final.
National Rum Day, the campaign launches. Now will the NFT be released on the day as well for the public to see and purchase?
I think the plan for National Rum Day is to make the initial announcement.
Got it.
Get people geared up. So the NFT space is all through auctions, and so I think our first step is to get you excited. We're going to tease some content that's going to be associated with the NFT.
Okay.
And I think from there, people will have all the details on how they can get a chance to win this one-of-one NFT.
I know people definitely gonna be looking forward to that once the announcement comes in, I love the community aspect as well as the aspect of just kind of just bringing people together and educating. So I think that our community, like you said, is the perfect time to do so, and I know people gonna be anticipating it once it comes out. Now you've done a lot of memorable things in the creative space when it comes to photography and videography and throughout your career thus far. Do you have anything that's most memorable that you can pinpoint at the top of your list where you said like this experience here is like when I went home after this, I was like, wow.
I just recently celebrated 4 years of my studio.
Congrats on that.
Studios, thank you. I think that process of turning from a one-man band as a photographer to embarking on a mission with a full community behind me, with a team of employees. So this 4-year journey I've been on with the studio has been like one of the most memorable, most, I don't know, it's hard to even put it into words, like the feeling indescribable, but that process of being a CEO now and having employees and building a community through creativity. And, we do 600 appointments a month in our space. So, so just seeing that grow.
Busy.
Yeah, we booked and busy. So to see that grow and see the community, the creative community in Atlanta grow, I think that's the most fulfilling work I've done thus far. So I think that is what's fulfilling. And then, having a space that I create out of right next to the community, right with the community is exciting. And that's where we actually were able to shoot this Bacardi content is right in the home of my studio. So I think, these two worlds colliding and me being able to work with brands as big as Bacardi out of my own space. And then, maybe the next hour, there's a new photographer shooting his first shoot in my space. Like those worlds just colliding is just what it's inspiring to me. So I think that's the most fulfilling thing, sure.
As a CEO, scouting talent is big. So what do you look for, both tangible and intangible, when it comes to scouting talent and choosing an employee? Of course, they gotta. Do they have to have some knowledge of photography and creation, or can they come to you strictly, like as a rookie or without any knowledge?
I think the first thing I look for is like passion and like ability. Knowledge can be taught. We can take the time. I can put you in a 2-week training course and you can learn. But I need people to have the ability and the potential to want to do better for themselves. So ambition is like big for me. Work ethic. I work, 12, 13-hour days still to this day, nonstop. So for me, I need someone that sees the vision that's going to be right there with me every step of the way and sees the power in working. But also knowledge. I think I sell this to a lot of my young employees and young people in the community. These cellular devices give us the power the brain power of the biggest genius in the world. You know,
Facts.
you can sit there and ask me what's 1,000 times a million quadruple, and I can tell you
Facts.
in 2
Everything.
seconds.
Yeah.
So you have that same power to research whatever it is your craft is or your industry. So they do gotta have some knowledge, because to me that's a sign of ambition. You're not jumping into something blind. You took the time to at least know something, because it's all there. So those are the biggest things I look for. Talent and skill can be taught, especially as it relates to my industry. But the main thing is, do you have the ambition? Do you have the motivation to want to do it?
Definitely, definitely. Now you've collaborated with, of course, a lot of artists, and a number of brands. But something I took heed to was your photography label. Historically, we've seen that done in music time and time again. But I don't think anyone, maybe management, when it comes to creators, but not the way that at least you are intentionally going about it. So speak about that partnership. Is that separate from Atlantic, or is that in conjunction?
So my label is separate technically from Atlantic. Atlantic would be considered one of our clients or one of our partners,
Got
in almost like a second aspect of a business. So the first business is our photography label, which is the first of its kind. It's a merger between, I guess, your typical artist, your typical photography agency. You know, you have a lot of photo reps and agencies, but it's merging with the music industry model of an artist and an artist label. And we're kind of colliding those worlds. So right now I have 6 artists. I personally make the 7th artist under the label. We have 3 women, 3 guys, and then myself. With each artist that we've signed, we financially invested in their career. We also manage and guide their movements, their shoots, produce their shoots, but also guide what's the right look for you. Like, okay, this shoot makes sense, or maybe this doesn't, or maybe you should be working with this type of brand or this type of artist. So it's fully invested in that. And now we're stepping into the fun part of our label, which is like investing in just their ideas. Like, oh, I want to do an exhibit in New York one day. Okay, bet. Let's put the plan together and we're going to do that. And that's the fun part. So our whole mission is to get photographers from working in service of brands and companies and others, and actually giving them the ability to make money off of their own image, likeness, and ideas, versus just waking up every day being told what they have to shoot. We want them to be able to create free, like a music artist can, just go in the booth and, you know, rap about what they want to rap about, sing about what they want to sing about, put out an album. Well, you know, why can't we do the same? So that's the mission that we're on, and that's the power that we're giving photographers. And we're a small label, so we're not out to sign 1,000 people. We got a lot of interest. I probably get hit 20 times a day from a different photographer, but you know, we're taking it step by step, improving the model, and then we hope, you know, I hope it inspires other bigger players within the photography space to do the same. You know, so our partnership with Atlantic was really designed to wake the music industry up to understand, like, yeah, you got this artist on your label, that artist on your label, but have you ever thought about the photographer that captures them? That person can be just as popular, just as important. Just, man, you can monetize it these types of ways. I know you got your concerts, but you can monetize through a gallery, or you got an album sale, you can sell prints, you sell merch, we sell merch. So it's really dope that Atlantic kind of saw that vision and even took the step to even stand next to us and validate us. But it's a separate entity in its whole from Atlantic. We work with a number of companies outside of Atlantic, but Atlantic is definitely, you know, one of our main partners and contributors.
Definitely. I mean, you kind of breaking down to an entire other industry that monetizes so much. Just breaking down the lucrative aspect of photography and creation and content. I mean, I feel like they may comprehend it to a certain extent, but I think you, like you said, you kicking down the door and opening a whole different process to it. I feel like that's dope.
Yeah, and we're not waiting. Like, we're gonna do it ourselves, you know. So my label is completely independently funded. We're not waiting on someone to tell us or to validate my idea. It was like we were doing it, you know what I mean? And luckily we did strike a partnership with Atlantic early on in the process, but it's getting done with or without the support of whatever. And I'm gonna prove the model. And then, like I said, we hope other people join on a mission and do it again. Like, to me, it's a failure if I'm the only label come, 2 years from now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the only photography label. I mean, something's not right. So
Facts.
I'm
They
hoping
didn't
to
get
have some competition in the space. Yeah, that means they didn't get it. Like, it's not clear. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to have some competition in the space. I'm hoping photographers have the option to say, I'm either signing Cam or 10 other labels. I got labels of my choosing. So we hope people get that. And that's what we're working on, like showing to the world for sure.
Definitely, that's dope. Now at this point, the conversation of ownership and equity is definitely at its forefront, especially when it comes to us as Black creators. Now as far as the artists that the photographers and creators that are assigned to you, what is the ownership piece? Do they own all of their work, or does it belong to the label itself?
Absolutely not. So I like to also say we're like the music label done right in a certain sense, where artists are first. So it's a number of, I would say, unorthodox business practices that we follow that is someone else might look at us crazy. So, but I told myself and I told my team, I only want to produce contracts that I personally would sign myself. So if I wouldn't sign this, I don't even want to produce it. So all of our artists maintain ownership of everything they create. Now, every project that we work on, every brand or company we deal with, there's obviously different rules and regulations that work with different brands, companies, or artists, right? Like, there's some bigger brands that, they like to do buyouts, so they want to buy your rights from you. And there's some brands that understand the value in you maintaining your masters in a certain sense. And they are willing to work with you on that. So we always push and fight for that. But outside of just the regular things they create, we take no ownership in any of the work of our artists. One of the other things we do, we offer an upfront financial advance, when you sign, just like a music label does. But the difference in our advance is it's not recoupable at first. So we don't make it so, you got to make this money back in order to start making more money. You get your advance and you start making money immediately on the first project we do. And I think that's another different point, because you have a lot of artists that get in the music industry, they get that advance at first and they won't see another check because they never hit the green. And they're just stuck. And it's like, nah, you should be eating as we eat and keeping yourself motivated. And you should see money coming in as a project grows. So that's another unique side of the label that we brought in. But our artists maintain ownership of everything. They sign the same type of deals that I would sign. And it's artists first, for sure.
Definitely, man. That's dope to see as a leader in the space. Like I said, since I've definitely been watching you, definitely admiring the work as well as the ethics that you move by, and I see that, like you said, more people are gonna continue that, and if they don't, well, then they I don't know, they gotta wipe their eyes or something. Clear. But that's fire, man. That's fire. Definitely setting the precedent. Now I talk about the Clio Awards. I know you definitely received a number of accolades, but why is that significant to you?
I think with a lot of what I try to do in encouraging photographers as a whole is like, make sure sometimes your flowers are out there. You got to just go get them. So sometimes you got to be aware of the trajectory of your work. I mean, when we work with a brand, we put ourselves within the advertising space. Hopefully this Bacardi project can be up for a Clio Award. Hopefully the work that we do in this ad space can also qualify for one as well. But a lot of photographers don't think that way. It was very telling. Even when I got my plaque, I got a music plaque, a platinum plaque for work I did with Gunna and Lil Baby. Yeah, I got a plaque for Gunna and Lil Baby, and everybody was like, "How'd you get a plaque? You can get a plaque?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can apply for a plaque if you had something to do with the sale or the push of this particular project or album. You just have to be able to do it. You got to go get your trophy." So the same applied for the Reebok Clio Award that I won for starring in a campaign. It was out there and I researched it. No one told me. No one put on my face and said, "Hey, you have one." No, I researched it and I say, I want to see this year if any of the campaigns I was associated with or worked with won an award. And I saw this one did, and I immediately ordered my award because I want to look at those things. I want to, when the times get tough, look and see what I accomplished and have things I can pass down to generation and generation. Put something in my mom's house one day and it's like my name on it. So the Clio Award is obviously one of the most prestigious marketing and advertising awards you can get. And then it's also marketing, right? You know, these ad agencies and companies need to see, you know, I'm winning the same awards, you know, so let's keep the work going, because working with me, you never know what's possible. So I'm excited about getting my first one, and hopefully it's the first of many.
No, facts, man. Yeah, definitely congrats on that. And now I'm sure, I mean,
I got it right here.
Okay, make a little cameo appearance. Hey,
Yeah.
got Cleo. That's fire, bro.
Yeah.
So you keep it in the office, or you stashing at the crib?
Right now it's in my office.
Okay.
You know, it's safe right here, but I definitely think I'm gonna end up moving it. Maybe send it to my mom. Let her hold it down for a little bit.
Now, in your journey, how do you define success? Just as a creator, as a CEO, as a boss, as someone who's coming up with innovative ideas to get more people opportunities in the creative space.
Success to me is truly defined by how many people I'm able to impact with my work. And that's a true testament to me. So as I look around, as I go back and people I've touched 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I look at success as where they're at. If they're in the same places that they were at when I first met them, then my force field or my atmosphere is not giving off the right type of energy. So for me, like I always say, getting into the photography space, it's weird of how we weren't really as present as we should have been in documenting even our own culture. We weren't there. You have some of the greats like Chimodu, I see you got his book behind you, who was leading the way, but I didn't feel like a lot of people carried on that torch. And I feel like we were missing even within our own space. So now when I look back at photography, you know, I'm 9 years in, and I see how many of us have now came in the door and have been inspired by, I wouldn't say just by me, but by the work of a few of us. That's inspiring. That's a statement of success to me. So now that I have my direct company, my label, my studio, I'm judging it based off of my artists. One of my artists has to be bigger than me. You know, that's going to be success of this label. One of my artists is doing things that I ain't never done. And it's already happening to a degree. Some of my artists already.
That's Lil Wayne type stuff.
Yeah, some of my artists are already shooting stuff that I'm jealous about. Like,
damn, how you get that angle right there?
Get that already. They hit you. So it's already starting, and that's the point. And then with my studio side, with just my staff and the community, like, it's inspiring to see some photographers who their very first shoot was at my studio, and then fast forward 3 years later, some of these people are shooting album covers or shooting for brands and traveling the world. And that to me is like, okay, we built something for real.
I like that you mentioned that being selfless in the effort as you give more people opportunities. I think that that's definitely needed. I feel like that's the only way like we grow as a community, as a collective, and just create more leaders in the space. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. Now, and as far as like hurdles and obstacles, you know, through this journey, you know, of success is not or just being free in your space and being able to wake up and do what you want to do, especially in entrepreneurship. It is a lot of ups and downs, so many hurdles, a lot of no's, but all it takes is one yes. So what is one of those hurdles that you feel like you had to overcome that you felt like really put a stamp in your career so far?
I think my whole career has been a hurdle. So it's all like one big jump. Because I would say prior to me really getting started in 2011, 2012, you couldn't necessarily identify another me, you know, because I was at the time where photography was going into the digital space and social media was big. So, you know, if you were a photographer, you didn't just have your portfolio in print anymore. Your stuff was living on Instagram, and you had to learn how to navigate with showing the world your work, but also trying to find ways to monetize it now that it's in the digital space. And then specifically for me in Atlanta, I always felt like there was a missing documentary piece that was happening within the artist scene in Atlanta, where there was no one taking photographs of the artists that we had. So we had the best music videos. I think we even had like some Hood Affair DVDs and trap DVDs, but you can find old videos of Gucci rapping on the corner, but you couldn't find the picture from that day.
Man.
And I was like, that's the stuff that lasts forever. Without a YouTube, without a video screen to play back, the picture that can be printed in a book, in a mag, that's the part that was missing. So I always think about that. Like when I was starting, I was like, man, where's those pictures of T.I.? Where's those pictures of Jeezy? Where's those pictures of Gucci from the heyday era?
Yeah, exactly.
They were missing. And that was where I saw a window. So for me, there wasn't like a direct blueprint or a direct like, okay, I'm gonna just do what he did type of thing. It was like I had to create it. So with my knowledge of what was missing and what I wanted to see, like I go back and study photography, and even Shimoda's a great example. Man, you had plenty of pictures of Tupac, plenty of pictures of Big, and
that book was a gift. That book is fire. Yeah.
The New York movement, the LA movement, you can find pictures of them doing everyday life. You can find Snoop with his car, like you can do these, but you couldn't find that in Atlanta. And within the space, I felt like photography, it was like becoming a missing art form in terms of within the culture of things. And that's what I wanted to bring back. So I feel like the fact that I was able to do it as fast as I was able to do it, the fact that I was able to even transition from shooting, trap rappers to, what we're here for, even a call with Bacardi and the partnerships with brands on this magnitude. I feel like that's all a hurdle. Like that's like one big hurdle. And I ain't come down yet. I'm still going up over the hurdle.
Lanes, transitions.
Yeah, I haven't landed yet. And we're trying to see how high I can jump over this hurdle. So I feel like that's all a thing, because none of this stuff is promised and none of this stuff is even expected.
Definitely. And one story, I think I heard you talk about briefly in an interview, you meeting Metro at Morehouse, because you all of you are successful in Atlanta, and y'all made y'all mark this far in. So just talk about those beginnings.
Nah, for sure. I mean, meeting Metro was a life-changing experience because me and him were like eye to eye on our journey. So prior to him attending Morehouse, he actually had a couple records when he was in high school that kind of took place.
Go back to
yeah, he came to Morehouse kind of like the buzz on campus a little bit, like, okay, guy here, he's a producer. He produced something. He produced, I think the 4 record was like big with Alley Boy and Jeezy. But Metro was affiliated with Free Bands. So if you know the beginning of my career, the first artist that really put me under his wing was Young Scooter, who was also signed to Free Bands. So we already, without even knowing each other, were already in the same family creatively, but also at the beginning of our journeys. Like we had a little bit of name off of what we were doing, but not even really beginning yet. And I remember when unfortunately Young Scooter had got through his legal situation, I was back in Atlanta more often, because before that we were traveling on the road 20 days a month with Scooter. He was biggest artist at that time. So when I came back home, it was like a reset for me. Like I needed to restart everything I was doing, because the artist I was working with was unavailable at the time. And a mutual friend of mine, Brian Wright, actually was still on campus. So I would go back to campus and visit, because I had just graduated as well. I would go back to campus to visit, and Metro was in his dorm one day. He was like, "Oh, y'all should know each other. Y'all both Free Bands." Like he was almost making a joke out of it. Like, "Oh, Free Bands." Like, "Oh, are you?" And then from that day on, it's like we never left each other's side. And we came in with a mission. And I love Metro for his genius vision. Like he had a vision for being who he is to this day. Like I'm not just gonna be a behind the scenes person. Like he was vlogging and documenting it. So he was an internet kid even before. So he exposed me to a lot of practices that I apply to my career to this day. But we set out on that journey. Like he makes the beats, I document the moment and the videos or whatever. And we literally went step by step. So as he met a new artist, you would see that in my portfolio. If he was working with Thug Heavy, I was working with Thug Heavy. When we met Travis together, I was working with Travis together. And we kind of came up together. And through our friendship, brotherhood, and even just collaboration, it really launched both of us to a different stratosphere. And now it's dope that he has his empire and his label and his imprint, and I'm able to do mine. And we're able to really just you sit back and look at what we created together. So love for life for that brother.
No, definitely, man. That's definitely a dope story. And I mean, I feel like that's Atlanta at its core. Collaboration and starting from wherever you guys started from and kind of just building together and making it happen so y'all could kind of launch into the stratosphere. Lastly, I want to talk about ATL Sports, man. You know, the Hawks came up short. I know you're originally from Maryland, from PG. So who do you root for? Do you rocking with Bradley Beal and the Wizards, or you with Trae Young and the Hawks? Or you root for both?
Man, I've been with Bradley Beal and the Wizards for some time, but I have a small spot in my heart for the Hawks. Obviously, that's the team I actually get to see on a regular or experience. So lately, I've been slowly converting over to the Hawks. You know, with every bad decision my Wizards make. You know,
they just traded Westbrook. So I mean,
trading everybody. I don't know what's going on. So I keep leaning on the Hawks, but I love the young core the Hawks have. So I was present definitely during that journey with the Hawks. I've been blessed to do actually some work with the Hawks. So the Hawks is definitely has definitely a spot in my heart for sure. So with the Hawks, yeah, we I wouldn't even say we fell short. I think we exceeded expectations. Right? I think we did better than we were supposed to do, or what people thought we could do. So I think it really put us in a better position and gave us more confidence, especially those young guys, more confidence to come out strong. So I'll be scared to go against the Hawks this year, next year, because we only gonna be better.
They gave Trae that big bag, so
he got the bag now. He's settled. Yeah, him and John Collins.
I'm giving him 1 year to get him another superstar. I feel like they gotta. He already proved it. He like, yo, I'm here.
Yeah,
I could take over anytime I want to. Now y'all got to give me some help along with the young pieces. So
yeah, or somebody on the team just got to become the superstar. I like what I saw in Herder. Yeah. I think John Collins has potential to scale up. You know what I mean? So I think the people around him, Bogdan, played great. I think one of them has a breakout year. I think we right back at it.
No, definitely. I agree. You rocking with football at all? The Falcons?
Now, when it comes to football, I'm hometown. I'm with the Baltimore Ravens.
Gotcha. Okay. I ain't mad at that because the Falcons be moving a little shaky. So.
I've been a Ravens fan since childhood, so that's one they can't call me out on. I'm rocking with the Ravens. Lamar, hopefully we win this year.
Definitely. Now as far as anything that's going on at Cam Kirk Studios, I know you just launched Ask Cam, the series where you kind of the audience gets to know your employees. Aside from, speak a little bit about Ask Cam and then any other things you got going on within the studio.
Yeah, Ask Cam is just a fun series that I wanted to create, with my employees. Really, it was a chance for me to just kind of slow down all the stuff I'm doing and moving around so much, and really just sit down with them and just, get to know them a little better. And I thought, what better way to do that, than on camera for the world to see. And giving, the audience an opportunity to get to know me better at the same time. So Ask Cam is a new series going to be rolling out exclusively on Instagram and Facebook. It's fun. I think you get to see how me and my employees interact with each other, just the chemistry we have. And hopefully you get to know a little bit more about me. A lot of people say I'm a little mysterious. So I have a little mystique about me. So hopefully here I get to flex a little bit more of my personality, and people can get to know me a little better. I think we're actually about to put an episode out right now.
People should definitely looking forward to that. Well, Cam, I definitely appreciate your time, brother. Definitely looking forward to that NFT and the launch of it. Yeah, I'm gonna be pushing the announcement. So
yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate your support with this, man. It means a lot to me.
No, definitely, bro. I appreciate you taking your time out. So, speaking to you, I definitely just want to say thank you for all you've done. It's inspiring different creative, lifting as you climb in all your endeavors. So best of luck. Hopefully we cross paths again. And
for sure.
There you have it. Jiggy Jones, Cam Kirk.